Hey guys, Tori Lynn here. Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing this beautiful fall look. I was feeling really very fall inspired today. It's like 95 degrees outside, but do I care? No. So I got some candles lit, got my cute little pumpkin, got my fall sweater on, and I'm going to film this super pretty kind of berry fall colored vibe look. Anyways, if you guys are interested to see how I did this look, please keep on watching. Let's get started. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button before this video starts. Okay, so let's get started. So, first thing I'm going to grab is my Clinique Daily Different Gel Moisturizer. Oh, Dramatically Different Gel Moisturizer. And I'm just going to put a little of that on my face. Alright, so the next step I'm going to do is I'm going to put some sunscreen on. I'm going to use the Neutrogena Beach Defense SPF sunscreen. I like to take just a little dab of this stuff. You don't need a lot with it. A little goes a long way. The last thing I'm going to do to finish prepping my skin before we get into actual makeup is I'm going to put a little bit of some primer on. This is the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer. I'm just going to go ahead and put a little bit of that on. I like this primer because it's pretty pore feeling and it does not leave you greasy. Okay, so now the next step is going to be foundation. I am mixing a couple of foundations. One, because I don't really care for the texture and the look of them when they're dry on their own. And two, one is too light and one is too dark. So the first one I'm going to use is the Tarte Shape Tape Foundation. And this is in the shade Light Sand. Now this is way too dark for me right now, and I do not like it. This is the old packaging because I've had this for a while because I do not like it on its own. And it took me a while to figure out, oh, okay, mixing it with, certain foundations will make it better. So I tend to mix it with the Maybelline Fit Me Dewy and Smooth. This is in the shade 220 or Natural Beige. And I'm just going to go ahead and pop this all over my face. I usually do a couple streaks of this shade on each cheek, the forehead, the nose, and then some on my chin, and sometimes some on my lip. Just depends on what I'm doing. And then because I'm already mixing these shades, somebody's gonna hate me for this. I like to take the same little doe foot applicator that comes in the Tarte foundation and just dip it into the Dewy and Smooth foundation and just work a little bit of this product around my skin. So now that I've got some foundation on my face, I am going to use a Morphe M6 brush to stipple this foundation together. And always remember to drag that foundation down the neck. Okay, so now that I got my foundation on, obviously I'm going to go ahead and conceal. I'm going to use my favorite concealer, which is Tarte Shape Tape in the shade Porcelain Beige. I used to always use light neutral with this, and the last time I went to order, they're out of light neutral, so I bought this and I actually really like it. I feel like it's a little more brightening. It can seem a little light or too light in the summer when I've been tanning which is what I have been doing. But I kind of stick with it, and I usually just use enough bronzer to bronze up and, you know, keep it from looking too crazy. I'm going to go ahead and use, this is an Aesthetica beauty sponge, and I just realized I forgot to stipple my foundation, which is something I always do, and I don't know why I forgot. So I'm just going to go ahead and quickly use the back side of that same sponge and just go around the areas of the skin that haven't been concealed yet. And then I'm going to go back in and do my concealer. Sorry if you can hear people talking in the background. That's my husband watching YouTube videos or something in the other room. Okay, now that I've got all my concealer on, I'm going to go ahead and bake, and I'm just going to use the Coty Translucent Air Sponge Powder. I'm just going to dip that same beauty sponge and pop that right under the eye. Now, I tend to bake a few other spots, especially during the late summer and fall when it's kind of hot still. I like to bake certain areas of the forehead where I tend to crease. I also like to bake the lines around the nose because I get typically foundation likes to settle in those areas, and I don't really like that, so baking it kind of helps prevent that. And then, as you saw me do in the beginning, I like to bake my chin. One, I feel like it helps last longer because that's an area where the foundation tends to break up on me. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and do my brows, and I just realized I did not pull out my brow product. So, give me a minute, and I'll be right back. Just threw on my brows. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to set my lids. So I'm going to set my lids using, again, the Coty Air Sponge Translucent Powder. And I'm just going to use a tapered brush here from BS Mall. Okay, so for the eyes, I'm going to be using the Huda Beauty Rose Gold palette. I'm going to use a BRB SO2 from Coastal, what is it? It's Coastal Scents. So it's just kind of packing brush. And I'm going to jump in and use these shades. I'm going to mix a couple shades here. I'm going to be using the shade, the kind of red shimmery shade Fling. I'm going to be mixing that with Rose Gold and the shade Bossy. Fling is going to be kind of my main focus. And actually, before I jump into that, I'm going to go ahead and spritz my brush down. Just helps with that shadow, packing that shadow in. So I'm going to mix those three shades, and I'm just going to pack that onto the lid, all over the lid here. So once you've got that shadow good and packed on the lid, I'm going to start kind of, not winging it out, but I'm going to start building it up on the outer edges of the eye there. So now that we've got that on there, I know it looks a little messy at the moment, But I'm gonna go and I'm just gonna use my bronzer. I'm gonna use the Hoola bronzer by Benefit. I'm just gonna dip into that with this is a BMX 430 crease brush from R&L Moda Pro. Just a nice fluffy crease brush. And I'm just going to work that shadow or that shade around the outer edge there. Just really soften that out, smooth it, just kind of give it a smokier look. Okay, so now once I've got that good and blended out, we're going to go back into the Huda Beauty palette, and I'm going to take another R&L brush. This is an R&L Balm 18 detailing brush, and I'm going to mix the shade Cocoa and Man Eater. So this kind of brown shade and this red shade here. I'm going to mix those two shades together. And I'm just going to go and kind of work that along the lash line. This is going to give it kind of an appearance of a faux liner. And it's also going to help just smoke the look out a little more. Really focus it on that lash line. And then I'm just going to bring the shadow, that shade up a little bit. Okay, now I'm just going to go and take my favorite blending brush. This one is an angled blending brush from, I believe, BS Small, but I honestly don't remember. So I'm just going to take that. It's a really fluffy brush. And I'm just going to work that around the eye, just to really blend everything together nicely. Okay, so now, as you can see, got a lot of fallout. We're going to jump back into the face, and I'm just going to start by sweeping away. I'm going to set my face, the rest of my face, with the Coty Translucent Airspun Powder, which that was upside down. And I'm just going to use another R&L Moda Pro, and this is a BMX 130 brush. I'm just going to set my face a little, and I'm going to go in also while I'm setting my face and sweep away any of that excess fallout. Now, obviously, I'm just noticing that I got a lot of that shadow on my nose. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my damp beauty sponge that already had some product on it. I'm just going to dab a little bit of my concealer onto the sponge, and I'm just going to work that out. So I'm going to continue setting my face. Now that I set my face, knocking over shit, we're going to go and bronze up. I'm going to stick with the same bronzer I used earlier, the Hoola bronzer by Benefit. And I'm going to use an Aesthetica P12 brush, which is obviously really dirty. Did not wash my brushes before this. Just going to go ahead and bronze her up. really feeling fall today, so that's why I filmed this video, this makeup look. It's like almost 100 degrees outside, but my fall FabFitFun came, and I was watching some Halloween movies like Monster House and Casper and Coraline, some good ones, and I'm just like, I am ready for fall. Hear me, please. Tomorrow's supposed to be like 105 degrees here. I started this video wearing a sweater, and I had to take that off before I even actually got the video going. So, anyways, bronzed up. Now, I'm going to use, for blush, the Real Her Be Fearless, Be Limitless kit. It's got 3 blushes, and I'm going to use the one called the shade Unstoppable, kind of this pretty mauve-y color. And I'm using just a angled cheek brush, and I honestly don't remember who this brush is from. It does not say, just says cheeks on it. So now that I've got, and I am not afraid of blush. Some people are, not I. I like a good amount of blush. And I just realized I forgot to contour my nose. So I add a little bit of blush to the end of my nose, and then I'm going to go in and contour it. Use the same bronzer shade, and I just like to use a fluffy brush. This one is from Anastasia Beverly Hills. Just a fluffy little crease brush. I just dip in a little and then lightly outline the perimeter of my nose. Now, I don't know why lately I have been really feeling this mood. I have been kind of just right at the back of the bulb of my nose. I've just so light-handedly followed that line. And I feel like it just gives your nose a little cute button look to it, which I've got quite the honker, so I'm okay with a little cute button look. Now, I'm going to go ahead and highlight. We're going to use the Mary Luminizer from The Balm. I love this highlighter. It's super pretty. Super nice on my skin tone. Some of them, you know, are too dark when they kind of get this pretty bronzy, champagne-y look. They get too dark if you're pretty pale or light-skinned like me. But it doesn't really seem to matter what time of year I use this or how dark my skin is. It still looks really pretty on me, really subtle. Well, not subtle. That ain't subtle, honey. But it's super pretty. I have a pretty oily nose, so I usually just do like one sweep down the nose and leave it. Some people, so I didn't used to ever highlight my nose, ever, and gotten into that lately too. This last summer, the dewy look has gotten to me. Okay, so sometimes I feel like I lose a little bronzer, or I just want to look a little bronzy. I go back over and just kind of blend that together. If I feel like I want more blush, then I'll do that with the blush brush, but I just feel like it gives everything a little more blend. Okay, so now we're going to jump back into the eyes. I'm going to have that same brush that I used to do the kind of faux liner or darken up that lash line. I'm going to use that same brush, and I'm going to use the shade Bossy here, which was one of the shades I mixed with that original shade, and I'm just going to really tap it out because I really don't want a lot of product, and I'm just going to smoke out that bottom lash line. Okay, now for inner corner highlight, I'm just going to use this single shadow. It's unique, and it's a shade called Gentle. It's really pretty. Looks more champagne-y there. In real life, it looks more, it's got a slight pink hue to it. It's super pretty. Looks really, again, good with my skin tone. A lot of them I feel like look too dark, like Flexitarian I know is a huge one for people. And I bought Flexitarian, I do like it, but I feel like it can tend to look really dark almost on my inner corner. So I only use that when I'm feeling real tan and I feel like it looks good. But this one happens to be my favorite shade, and it's been my favorite shade for quite a while. Like, that's the only thing I use it for, is for my inner corner and brow highlight. And I like to kind of drag it up into the shadow just a little bit, and then under the eye also. And then pop it right on that brow bone there, honey. Okay, now I think I did this in one of my other videos too, but I like to take a chunky brush. This is a Morphe brush, and I like to just buff it along that line between those two, the highlight and the shadow. I feel like it just gives everything a nice seamless blend. Sometimes highlights can be too stark that you get like this line between the shadow and the highlight, and I just feel like blending them gives it a nicer transition. So now I'm going to go ahead and set my face with some Urban Decay spray, setting spray. This is actually a vitamin infused complex prep spray, but you can also use it as a setting spray or a refresher spray. So just give her a nice spray down there. And then I'm going to go in, and I don't do falsies very often, but I do like to mix some mascaras. I have been using the Wander Beauty Unlashed Volume and Curl Mascara and the Superhero It Cosmetics Mascara. And I like to start with the Wander Beauty and just give them a nice little coat. I kind of feel like it makes a base for the Superhero Mascara. I really like it, but I feel like on its own sometimes can look clumpy. And I feel like using a base mascara first kind of helps to keep things a little smoother, a little less clumpy. Keeps the lashes a little more separated. Now I'm going to go in with the Superhero mascara. And I recently learned that pumping your mascara is bad. It can push air down there and then cause your mascara to dry out more quickly, and I did not know that because I've done that for years and I'm still struggling to break that habit. Now obviously if you're a false lash girl, you don't need to waste as much time on your mascara. Little coat and then toss on some lashes, but I struggle with the strip lashes. I have struggled with them so much, so I just, unless it's like a do or die kind of situation where like this look needs it to salvage it, I don't do it. I did do some lash extensions. They're pricey and a lot of upkeep, and so I did them for a couple months and loved them, but had to let them go. Okay, so now that I've got my lash and my mascara on, obviously this look would look super pretty with some falsies, but that's just not who I am. So to finish up this look, we're going to go ahead and do the lip. I'm going to start with a lip liner from Profusion Cosmetics in the shade Secret. This is actually something I picked up at Walmart, I believe in a duo. I happen to be just picking up some foundation because Walmart's a Duke's Place and for drugstore foundation, and saw this lip duo and I was like, oh, that looks really pretty, so I picked it up. I don't know why, I think it's just habit for me, but I always fill in my lips with the lip liner, whether that's what I'm going to do as the look or not. So it's just kind of a habit for me. Okay, so now I'm going to be using the lips the NYX Lingerie liquid lipstick in the shade Baby Doll. And then to finish off the lip, I'm going to use, this is from a few years ago. The brand Lip Sense was going around everywhere on social media. And I bought some from a lady, and this is the top coat, the glossy shade. I'm just going to go and put that on top, because I want this look done and have a glossy lip. As much as I like the matte lips, I kind of feel like you can change it up every once in a while. And somebody's probably gonna ask what I felt about that. Lip Sense products, honestly, don't feel like, one, it was worth the money, and two, it didn't feel like it made a difference. It stayed just like every other regular liquid lipstick. I don't know if I was doing something wrong or what, but I did not care for it. I mean, it wasn't bad. It just, one, it burned your lips, and two, it just didn't stay like they did in the videos. So I don't know if it was me or the product or just, you know, false advertising. It was pretty. I liked the color I bought, but it just wasn't what I was looking for. So anyways, so here is my look. Just a super pretty fall kind of vibe. I'm so ready for fall. So just wanted to film this video and get it out there for you guys. If you have any questions, please go ahead and comment down below, leave a like, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.